Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Friday, January 15th, 2021. Bitcoin volatility stepping up overnight, seemingly rejecting from $40,000. Are the bears in control, or is this just the test of the lower end of the channel? And are we ready to take another shot at 40K? We did see some serious, volatility at this point stepping into the market. $3,000 moves are nothing to scoff at, right, gentlemen?
Seems to be the new norm, huh?
Indeed. All right, let's introduce our two analysts today, Alex and Jason. Alex, how are you doing this morning?
I'm well.
How about you, Jason? Everything go when you're in?
You know what? I'm feeling real good about today. Last night, adjusted a position because of the CL on the daily. As I talked about and discussed yesterday, some of the nuances of getting used to your system. I said yesterday that when I get a continuation long with this setup, I usually get punished first with some throwback. So we, instead of adding to our position, we just moved the position that was already in profit. And right now we're still sitting above break even in a good spot to possibly buy the dip. Now we just get to sit on the sidelines and kind of see what Bitcoin wants to do, man. This is the way I like to play it. Like, let it make its move and we can counter.
Yeah, another dip seemingly worth buying as we continue our march up, but I'm sure it's probably left a few people spooked today, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sure the reversal from 30K and a climb up probably had some people FOMOing back into the market, and now I'm sure they're wondering, man, was that a good idea? Maybe I should have stayed on the side.
Yeah, it's a domino effect, man. Like, for the people who don't really know what they're doing, when you get into that mood of, oh, short this, buy this, like when it just keeps going, man. Like, you just kind of got to sit out of it.
Yep.
Like, if you're letting price action mess with your psyche so much, like, you need to take a step back and reassess what you're doing.
Yeah, this is where the market might yo-yo a bit and chop people up. So I know a lot of people really want to sell the top, especially if they enjoyed the bleed out of the 2017 and 2018 market, I'm worried that's going to lead to a lot of people getting chopped up. People trying to hedge or sell the top, and they're going to end up experiencing some trouble.
Let's not worry about them, because we can only help people who help themselves, right? Because
Indeed.
people are going to get chopped up regardless of what happens.
All right, let's take a quick look over at crypto bubbles. It seems like things are not looking too pretty on the alt front. Not to say that the alt season has been canceled, but maybe put on a temporary pause today.
We're
Still
hitting TPs, baby.
IOST up 46.8%.
Yeah.
This one we covered
Alex
on the show
had us in
yesterday.
that trade.
Oh, no kidding, eh? Oh, we must have swept through like at least 2 take profits by now.
All of them.
Well,
Wow.
we'd already hit take profit 1 yesterday, so we hit the rest of them today.
Wow. All right. Well, we did cover IOST on the yesterday's edition of Breaking Bitcoin. It's nice to see it trending in the top of bubbles today. Beyond that, VGX up 22%. That's nothing to scoff at. SUSHI, kind of a favorite around here, up 14%. Nice. Atom, Cosmos up 16%, right, and Link I think hit new all-time highs, and I think it pulled back a bit, but yes, I think Link tapped the all-time highs.
We were in that one as well.
Epic.
TP1 and TP2 hit on Link, so
wow.
Congrats.
Put that one in.
Congrats to anyone who was in that. We're still riding it, baby.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, sounds like a few successful trades over at CC's premium section. Right on, guys. Good work. All right, but otherwise, mostly losers in the alt space today, to the order of 5 to 10% across the board. But yes, we have some outliers here like Uni, Band, IOST, of course, like I mentioned, Link, Atom, Nexo, KNC even up a few points. So not all is lost yet. Maybe we're just taking a little breather before the march continues up to new all-time highs for maybe some of these alts. All right,
I'll take it.
Quick look at the news. It's been a roller coaster in crypto land. $340 million of long positions liquidated as Bitcoin price crashed just $3,000 in hours. Indeed, this is what you expect on days like this, with the big wicks. Well, what might be a big wick forming on the daily. Who knows if this gets bought up and we just keep climbing higher, it'll just be yet another funky looking wick
Set
on
of
the daily.
liquidations.
But yes, it definitely introduces big liquidations on days like this, and leading the way is Binance liquidations, where the leading the pack, 167 million in liquidations on
Binance must be loving offering margin.
Oh yeah.
They used to have to take traders' accounts one piece at a time. Now they can just take their account in one fell swoop.
It's just like that 125x looking at you like, hey.
Yeah.
Hey. Hey, how you doing?
Heavily weighted toward the long side, of course. So the longs is the ones who got blown out. People probably FOMOing in to long the top. You know, even yesterday I was thinking, man, we're probably gonna go blow right through 40, aren't we? Nope. Looks like we're gonna dip down one more time.
This is why I did not add any more risk when the continuation long was signaled yesterday.
Smart.
We would have been underwater right now, pretty bad.
Jason and I both agreed price was going to drop yesterday. We just disagreed on if it was going to drop at 39,000 or 40,000. Which,
and
by the way, I would.
You did win that one.
Another...
I thought it would wick up to 40,200. So I lose, but I don't lose any money.
All right.
Well, it just goes to show you, reasonable people can disagree on small things about the charts.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be sure.
And it just goes to show you as well as how subjective a lot of TA can be, you know?
Yeah.
All right, this news article
That's what our
here
systems are for, folks.
Comes from Cointelegraph, and it touches on something that somebody was referring to in the live chat yesterday, if you remember. I think it was Boris Bitcoin, asking us what our thoughts are on the Biden stimulus or spending package that was going to be announced later that day. Would it have much of an effect on the markets? So this article today dives into the...
So they must have hated it, right? We sold off.
Yeah, potentially, but it's still a $1.9 trillion stimulus package, which was revealed yesterday by President-elect Biden. So the question is, would it actually have much of an effect on the markets? I mean, we'll have to maybe give it a few more days to really determine if it did. If it doesn't, we mostly passed on it. But of course, we'll have Alex explore the Dixie and Bitcoin and see if we can draw any kind of conclusions from that at all. But yes, figured I'd just mention Biden and the $1.9 trillion spending package. Maybe that'll do something to lift spirits in this economy.
I don't know if you're doing this on purpose, Jack, but it sounds like you're throwing a lot of innuendos out there.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Getting into the Dixie with the package and...
All right, and I noticed, Alex, you posted this to the News Pulse today. There is another, GBTC is going to get another, because of course, being the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, it's going to have another competitor on the block. So it's going to be called OBTC, the Osprey Bitcoin Trust. And they're going to be offering much lower fees than GBTC. GBTC, of course, seeing all the love. I noticed another article today talking about they continue to buy. They added, I think, another 4,000 Bitcoin to their coffers.
Well,
so
this is technically, think of it as like another company that will be buying Bitcoin.
They just keep lining up, and they want more and more. So more bullish.
And I think that's going to be a continued narrative, because as this becomes more mainstream and stuff like that, just over time with anything else, competition is going to drive these prices down, you know?
Indeed, it seems what the future is going to be like, and potentially what's causing all this bullish activity to form.
Fee-wise, not the numbers.
All right, let's quickly shout out the audience. Maybe first I'll just review the next 2 hours and how it's gonna look. We will be going from the majors like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then diving into the alts. Might even have Alex dive into Forex and look at some traditional markets. By hour 2, we should be doing everyone's chart requests. So hour 2, we do the AMA. We do the AMA section, so be sure to leave your chart requests or any questions you have in the live chat. We'll collect those during the course of the show and be responding to them in the hour 2 for sure. Finally, we'll probably round the show down, keep it a little casual today. It is Friday after all, everyone. So let's get into the live chat real quick and shout out everyone who's here today. Let's start right at the top. Alright, Gabriel was here first this morning. Shoutouts to Gabriel. We got Longbeard in here. Crypto Bull doing the timestamping. Shoutouts to Crypto Bull doing a great job on the timestamps. We've got Super Relax back in the chat. And I can't help but notice Super Relax became a supporter today. So shoutouts to Super Relax. Thank you for supporting the channel and picking up that channel subscription.
Thank you for being so relaxed, man. You're so chill. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. Leaning back as we speak. Mr. Ether in here. Shoutouts to Mr. Ether. We got Grant Parsons in here. Cavano Trades saying hit that target, breaking Bitcoin. Alright, indeed, that's what we do around here. We definitely set targets and try to collect gains.
Some darts.
Let's see your Vidusha in here. Jonah, love the show. Let's do this. It's Friday. Big pump coming overnight and over the weekend. Hope everyone is watching, is happy and safe as well. Indeed. Thank you for the kind words, Jonah. And yeah, I'm fingers crossed as well for the big weekend pump. Subtextually says hello. Nice to see you this morning, Subtext. Let's see who else we got in here. Adam Cohen, Julian V, Evo. Lloyd is in here this morning. We got Polly B in here. Dark Rico. Shoutouts to Dark Rico. Another regular. Boris Bitcoin in here. Daniel. David Windle. Ron Legato. Han John. And finally, Oil Kemp. AJI. Ryan O'Malley. And Profit Bear. Nice hash login as well. Alright. Nice to see everyone's faces and names in the live chat. Indeed. Yes, we couldn't do this without our loyal audience, but...
We could, it would just be super lame.
Super lame, super boring. But with that said, I'm going to hop into the next scene and pull up Alex's chart. Alright, Alex, I got you on screen. I'm going to go into the live chat, start pulling up requests. Going to add them to the queue, and in the meantime, I'm going to let Alex get it started.
Let's zoom out and just get a sense of where we are. Today we have crossed back below the daily baseline, which has continued rising as this has gone on. So things are starting to look fairly bearish at this point. The baseline is how we decide to start looking for shorts. We're already starting to get pretty near zero here, and we'll be crossing back under. So we could be looking for shorts on Bitcoin relatively soon. For now, this is good for alts. This is sideways. I mean, it's sideways on really high volatility, but it's sideways. I mean, we can look at it, like let's pull out the weekly.
Sideways.
Yep, we're the same place we were last week. And at this point, if we close the week like this, we will be printing an exit signal on the CME, and this will be this afternoon. So this is almost guaranteed, unless we have a really good recovery from here. This we'll have to wait till Sunday afternoon until we will get the close on this. But overall, as you can see, we've been in this trend for quite a while. We just kind of entry here is where the weekly would have had us in. Man. And now the weekly is telling us, hey, you're at resistance, get out, buddy.
It was a beautiful run.
Yep, it was a really beautiful one. So for those of you who will doubtless ask for it, guess what the CME is doing today, guys? Or excuse me, guess what the Dixie is doing today, guys? Yep, we are making new highs on the Dixie. We are putting in what amounts to a very interesting bottoming formation. As you can see, we're continuing to recover over support. We recovered this support level earlier in the week, and today we'll be finishing up above here, most likely. I guess we could always wick back down, but you got to admit, this looks pretty bullish as it stands. So this is bad for the stock market, essentially. This is showing that people are selling out of positions into the dollar. Demand for the dollar is rising. Therefore, the value of the dollar is rising. Now, I know there are a lot of people who think that the stimulus is going to cause the dollar to fall because there'll be money printing, etc. Well, I invite you to do some research on your own, but it is questionable if that is necessarily how the stimulus is going to work. We could still see deflation in this country. So, hey, be careful. This is telling us that speculative positions as a whole are in for some hurt. Now, this could put a small damper on alt season, but this shouldn't necessarily stop alt season because there's so much money pouring out of Bitcoin that, just a little bit of that money leaking into alts can cause like 200 to 300% rises in some of these alts. So we could still see an alt season even though the dollar is currently punching Bitcoin in the face. So
get out of here.
Yep. People are getting into the dollar.
Get to the dollar. Get to the dollar. What are you doing? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, let's look at the traditional markets right now. Huge gap down today, and then we've traded up. This is just more sideways. As you can see, at this point, by the end of today, we'll be getting a sell signal on the Dow Jones. I highly doubt we'll make a new all-time high sometime in the next 3 hours to make this go away. But hey, I mean, it could happen, I guess. NASDAQ, you can't see me, but I'm giving a thumbs down right now. This is also a big sell signal as we stay below the daily baseline.
Still walking that plank, man. That looks bad.
You know what? I am going to put a short signal on this at the end of today. I bet we're going to have a lot of movement over the weekend. We'll probably gap down on that.
Yep.
So, I expect at least a retest of 300 here on QQQ, if not movement all the way down to like the point of control that's most likely in this area. We can't really see. But, I mean, think of it. We have pumped since March. There's going to be some kind of significant pullback.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we did have this sideways consolidation between September and November. SPY, guess what? Same story. Gap down today, kind of trading upwards. We're still hanging out in the no trade zone, so we don't necessarily have a sell signal on the daily. But the weekly, same story. Last week, all-time high. This week, where's the strength, right? If you were to look at just last week's all-time high, you'd be like, oh my God, next week is going to be a banger on the stock market, right? Look at that. Look at that. We broke up out of this. We broke up out of this pattern. We're hanging around the high of the week. Oh my gosh, so strong. I'm going to go all in.
All-time high.
Yeah. And what happened? Well, no strength. Back below this resistance right here. Wicking up into it over the week, nothing.
Indecision.
We're breaking down here, and that's what our time transformation is telling us. It didn't print a sell signal here, or here. It's not like it's just doing it on reds. Well, I mean, it did on this red, but sorry, I pointed at too many red candles. I do think everybody should have extreme caution because it's a weekly sell signal on Bitcoin, a weekly sell signal on the major markets. And I bet if we head on over to Ethereum, there's a chance that we're getting weekly sell signal. Look at that. Now, this could go away in the next 3 or 4 days. I believe if we get back above like 1250, 1260, then we could get continuation here on Ethereum. But I do still think we're probably going to get that pullback towards 800, 650 that we were talking about last week as a potential pullback area. So right now, there's nothing for us to do on the daily. We don't have a continuation signal. We don't have a short signal. There's nothing to do here for Ethereum. Ethereum Bitcoin does look very good for continued appreciation in this spot. We will have a continuation signal at the end of today. Maybe I'll put up an Ethereum Bitcoin signal. I'll think about it. But for now, this kind of goes with our thesis that Ethereum is going to continue to appreciate against Bitcoin on the long term. See, I made this arrow. This arrow is like a promise. So, yes, this is a promise.
I do like that, though. That looks like a textbook descending channel breakout. And
yeah.
The price absorption that we're getting right now, wicked right off the top of that trend, that's looking super bullish right now.
Yeah, this looks very bullish. We've held this for the last week. Chances are we'll continue to hold it for the next couple of days. And eventually, once we break up over the weekly baseline, I think we'll move really quickly on Ethereum, I would imagine. But who knows when that will be? This is the weekly chart, so we could trade sideways in here for a month. Let's not get too carried away, but it looks good. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get a broad crypto market view. Man, only thing strong today is the one I was bitching about yesterday, Dragon Perp. Everything else is down right now, except DeFi, which is kind of trading sideways up here at resistance. Not a great look, but not bad necessarily either. Uniswap coins still at resistance, but we're holding this trend line. This is good. If we can continue, if we can close above here, this will be good for Uniswap coins. Bitcoin dominance continuing to fall, letting us know alt season most likely incoming. Remember, we've been watching this. Traded sideways all week on Bitcoin dominance, and now we're finally sinking down. We're going to get a weekly sell signal here too with a bearish divergence. So all good signs for an impending alt season.
The writing's on the wall, folks.
Yeah. Why don't we do some would you want to catch up on the chat or some chat requests or some chart requests?
I tell you what, there is a request I have on screen right now. You already did 2 of the 3 of them. Maybe have you do the 3rd one. So Vidush in the live chat requested Dixie, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and if we can follow up on EOS Bitcoin.
Okay. EOS Bitcoin is a great one because it happened, guys. What we were talking about yesterday.
Exactly the way we talked about it.
Yeah, that's
Let's
actually
go down on the lower time frames.
That's what he said in the comment. It's doing exactly what Alex was talking about. Yep.
Yep. So I will.
Too.
Yes, Jason also was talking about it. I spelled that wrong.
We're getting springy in this B.
We'll remind you guys of what an Wyckofian accumulation pattern looks like. All right, guys. So here we were talking about the bottoming behavior, and then we break support. And I said what we needed to see happen was we need to see EOS reclaim that support level. We need to see this reclaim the support level, and we did. This is really good for EOS. Yep, this is huge for EOS. So I think this is probably a great place for a bottom pick for EOS, if you ask me. We won't quite have a buy signal on the 12-hour or the daily. We're just too even though we're above the daily baseline, we're just too oversold on the oscillator. So we're gonna need some catching up, and EOS will probably trade sideways in this area a little bit more before pumping. This is not going to go straight up, but I think that's it for making new bottoms for EOS.
It would appear.
Yes, this reclamation of the support level is exactly what we were looking for on EOS when we were talking about this yesterday, and it happened. So that is good. That EOS is sort of confirming our theory.
It is confirming our theory so far, but also the bigger idea here is if this truly is the bottoming behavior of a spring, that means that we're likely to get a lot more appreciation to the upside than any retracement to the downside, trapping all of the shorters. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're looking at something like EOS reacting the way it is, because it may just run to the upside, leaving all the shorters in the dust. So be very careful looking at any kind of shorting activity with EOS.
Yeah, really strong basing behavior on EOS. We've held the support of roughly 250 quite well. I think we just need to be above the daily baseline, guys. And once we do get there, then I think EOS will be ready for us to take. And I think EOS Bitcoin will be ready too. So we'll keep our eyes on that. But this is EOS Bitcoin is really juicy looking, I think, from where it is, where I stand. What's next, Jack?
All right, let's get into the next one. What do we have here? This one comes from Evo in the live chat. Are we sending sushi to $9 or what? Yeah, sushi
I
denied.
mean,
What do you think?
why stop at 9? I mean, can't get enough of that gas station sushi, bud.
I mean, it's strong. There's no signs of weakness on the daily. The 12-hour basically just retested support and held it. Hard to complain about that. Yeah, even the 4-hour is just like, let's go. You know, at this point, I would wait for a break and a new high. But presuming we get that, then I think sushi is good to continue. There's just no signs of weakness. What's next?
All right, Evo, that's your sushi for today. Let's look at the next one. This is a question coming from Boris Bitcoin. Hey guys, thoughts on the HODL 60 on the CME daily chart? Looks much more cleaner than spot Bitcoin chart. And would it invalidate?
So you are not the first person to notice that. Which is, I mean, I don't mean to take away from the fact that you noticed that, because I was also not the first person to notice it. We had a member point that out to us, and you know, at first I was a little skeptical, but you know, I have been watching the CME baseline versus the normal Bitcoin baseline for probably, you know, 9 to 10 months now, and you're right, it does seem to be cleaner and better. Let me show you guys what this person is talking about. So the CME chart is basically traded on the traditional markets, so it closes on the weekend, so it does not include Bitcoin's weekly data.
Weekend data.
Thank you. Weekend data. So let's zoom in on the baseline and see what he's talking about.
When all the gangsters come out and just start whipping money around.
I can think of a few particular locations where the CME was just so much better. Let's look at this spot right here. So you see how we get really chopped up by the baseline in this spot, here and here and here. Now let's look at the CME chart in the same spot.
Yeah, I kept that.
It does what we want it to. Same for this spot right here. As you can see, we kind of ride it in this spot. That's never fun, because you're like, what the F do I do right now? Like, what? You know, this is my market regime. So obviously this is telling you don't trade, don't trade, don't trade, don't trade, don't trade. But unfortunately, we get the final spot where it's like, yeah, go ahead and trade, and then, you know, we get.
No, you still couldn't trade that, because that would be an initial long signal. WADA's not there at all.
Yeah, you're right. We didn't quite have enough momentum, but we would have unhedged, and we still would have gotten slapped.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. But that did not happen in this spot. We got a couple of days where we weren't sure, and then we were below it. And then once we got above it, it was basically a perfect entry. Here, both of them got faked out in this spot. But we crossed it twice versus once on the CME. See here on the CME, we're just like, bloop.
Bloop.
Yep. So my advice to you is this. You should trade whichever chart you like better, but you should only be trading that one. I do not put up trades for Bitcoin based on the CME chart, because I'm not trading on the CME. You know, stuff does happen on Bitcoin on the weekends, and I was definitely glad to have been out of Bitcoin Sunday morning versus Monday morning, which is when people in the CME have to get out. That being said, it's your account to trade as you'd like. It is true that this does seem to give cleaner signals, but you know, I'm always on the other Bitcoin chart, and it just kind of doesn't make sense to me to take signals off of this one when I'm not really trading this. I'm trading this for better or worse, you know.
All right, I think that mostly sums it up, but he asked, would it invalidate the idea of hedging if you only looked at the CME daily chart?
No, it wouldn't. It would just...
if that was your premise.
Yeah, if your premise is that I only want to hedge when we're under the CME daily chart, then I think you should do that. You just got to make sure that you're religious about whichever one you do.
And looking at the data, I would actually go further to say that if you're looking for a hedging strategy utilizing the 60 hole, it does appear that taking the weekend data out keeps you out of a lot of chop. So it might be a better way to look at for hedging. You'd have to go back and back test that yourself, though. Bitcoin looking a little weak there.
Yep. What's next?
All right, let's get into the next pair of requests. This one comes from Subtext, KSM USD and Polkadot USD, please.
All right. Kusama looking a little weak on lower time frames here. On higher time frames, there's really nothing to do. There was not a long signal yesterday. There could be a long signal that you take today. We're kind of underneath the qualifying line. I think ultimately you probably end up not taking the signal. I imagine that unless Kusama breaks down more, we will be above the qualifying line. And if it broke down more, then we probably would not get this oscillator signal. So there's just nothing to do on Kusama right now. If you're just still in it, then there's no exit signal or anything to do. As far as DOT, same story. There was just no way to catch it. Kind of took off. Right now, no real signs of weakness on any time frames, so there's nothing really to complain about. If you're in it, I would just stay in it. If we cross back under or broke back under support, then maybe. But until then, there's just nothing to do. What's next?
All right, that about sums it up for those two. Thank you to Subtext for KSM and DOT. Let's get into the next one. Ryan O'Malley, VGX continuing to moon, question mark. Yeah, let's take a look at VGX. I think that was on bubbles today. See what Bitcoin's doing. Ooh.
It's VXG, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it?
What did I read? A VGX, but maybe it is VXG.
It's XVG.
Okay, so maybe he meant XVG.
I mean, is it continuing to moon?
That's something I would describe Verge as. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably VGX, which is one of the big gainers on bubbles today. And VGX is also known as Voyager token.
Okay. Has potential to keep going. I don't see any real signs of weakness except for the dip today, which a lot of the alts had. There's just nothing really for us to do. You either got in down here or, perhaps on some sort of cross up on a lower time frame here, but we're certainly not buying up here right now. So yeah, there's just nothing for us to do. What's next?
Right, that's nothing to be done on Voyager token. Moving into the next one. This is for Vidush in a live chat. VET USDT, please.
All right.
Bet VChain.
Looks pretty weak to me. We're getting a short signal right now. So maybe I'll put on a short at the end today for VChain. We're beneath the daily baseline. We're crossed under here, below zero on our oscillator. WADA's firing off a momentum and volatility. So I would definitely say at this point for VChain, I would probably be looking for an exit if I were in it. VChain Bitcoin doesn't look bad. We're just kind of trading sideways here. But it also doesn't look strong either. It's just kind of sitting there right now. Yep, I think there's it's either nothing to do or get out. are my answers to you. What's next?
All right, let's move into the next one. This one comes from Oil Kemp in the live chat, or Ollie Kemp, I should say. They're asking for Dash. Let's take a quick look at Dash, shall we?
All right. Looking pretty weak here. We've got a confirmed exit signal at the end of today, so there's nothing for us to do on Dash. We're just hanging out at resistance. So yeah, I'm not interested in buying right here. Everything is telling us not to. It's starting to cross under on the Bitcoin pairing too. So yeah, there's really nothing for us to do right now. If we got some sort of re-entry signal, then that could be really encouraging. But without that, we're trying to catch a knife, and we're probably going to do a really poor job of it. It's probably going to retest this area down here. What's next? Jack? Jason? Anybody? Hello?
Sorry, I had a phone call I had to pick up. My apologies. I am back. I am back.
Okay, well, apparently I'm the only one here.
No, you're here.
Oh, I was talking. Could you not hear me?
Yeah,
Nope.
we didn't hear you.
Weird.
I was muted. I had to pick up a call, like I said. But
Likely story.
all right, so we've got the Dash in the bag. Ready for the next one?
Yeah, sure, please.
All right, unless there was something
sure?
else you were asking. All right, so we have done. I see Viviana Sumprum in the live chat asking for DOT. I think we just did DOT a couple of minutes ago, so just rewind a little bit or wait till after the show when the timestamps are up. And all right, I see I've got everybody's comments here. Good. All right, let's heading into the next one. This one's for Grant Parsons in the live chat. He's asking for Cardano.
Ooh. Cardano, you say? Okay. I think the Bitcoin pairing is strong here. So I tried to enter here. We got pushed out yesterday on a cross under, and then it recrossed over today. I might take it again. It's still strong looking here. It's just a little volatile. So I do like ADA here on the Bitcoin pairing. The USDT pairing is, I would imagine, looking kind of like Bitcoin, but let's see if it's a little stronger. Yeah, this is stronger than Bitcoin because we're hanging above the daily baseline, but there's still nothing really for us to do. We're crossed under right now. Momentum's not firing. So nothing really here on ADA that I'm interested in at this point. I think it just needs to, test some kind of support again, and then it'll be a really interesting trade, especially on the Bitcoin pairing.
All right, well, in that case, hang on. It could be something very interesting forming on the ADA BTC chart or BTC ADA chart. All right, moving into the next one. This is a general question from Daniel. Can I grow a $200 account, or is it just a waste of time because fees will eat up all my profits?
Well, fees will not eat up your profits because the fees are percentage based. Mm-hmm. So if you trade, $1 worth of contracts, you will pay like 3 cents.
Unless you're on FTX.
Yeah, and if you trade like $100,000, you're going to pay $300 in fees, no matter what your leverage is, because you pay based on the size of the position, not your leverage. So, you will not get it eaten up at fees, but I will say that you will probably end up making more per hour doing almost anything else with your time. Because if you're trading at all safely, then $200, even 20% a month is not going to be worth your time. And I think 20% a month is probably the max you can guarantee yourself and be trading safely per, because, at that point, with wins and losses, you're probably trading like 40 to 50 trades to get that 20%. Anyway, so I guess the answer is no. You can't trade $200 up without a whole lot of luck. I guess you could YOLO it and it could become something worthwhile. But then you could also much more likely to just end up out $200 is the more likely scenario, and then you will have wished you had just gotten another job and gotten an hourly wage.
Just DCA over time.
Yeah, that's good advice. Like right now, if you don't have a lot, just start putting it in a little bit at a time.
It'll add up, man. Trust me.
Yeah.
Especially if Bitcoin keeps doing what it's doing. I mean, Christ's sake, man, $200 could be a couple thousand here in a little bit.
Yeah, a $1,200 stimulus check from April of last year is now worth over $6,000.
Boom, stimulus.
Right. Yes, my advice to Daniel is maybe stack a little bit more and then deploy it very strategically with a professional trading approach. You might still be able to, you throw $200 worth of Bitcoin on Bybit, you might still be able to grow that, especially if the first few trades go.
I'm not going to completely agree with Alex because I started off that way, just slowly building little bits of capital. I know what he's talking about though, if you're not using a lot, but when you're first starting out anyways, you should be utilizing less capital because you don't know what you're doing completely. So I always say you should trade $200 the same way you would trade $1 million, and that's no different. But if you just keep adding over time, $200 is going to turn into a lot more than that pretty quickly, in my opinion. But I'm more of an optimist because I've done it myself.
Yeah, you're much better off, spending some time doing research on alts, watching the market, and then buying something you really believe in when the price is really low.
Mm-hmm.
That's
what we did
with that $200, because if you just try and trade it, it won't be worth the time. You'd be better off getting a minimum wage job.
Flipping bag is, especially with the what it's about to go to 15. Is that what they just announced? Minimum wage?
Usually,
it's going to be part of the stimulus plan, supposedly.
Yeah.
And generally, I find that people who show up with smaller bags looking to get lucky, they do end up getting lucky, and then they're like, well, if only I could increase my risk. I mean, it's just $200 or $300 or whatever.
It's inevitable that you will lose.
Yep, and you're going to eventually end up giving back all your initial lucky streak. It becomes really tempting to leverage up because you figure I'm feeling lucky, I'm feeling hot. I could really turn this 200 into 2,000 if I do a few risky moves here or there. That's usually where you get bit. And of course, people are usually a little relaxed when it comes to like $200 account. You end up taking more risk than you would if you had more money potentially in it, and have to account for that going against you. But Daniel, best of luck in your developing your trading account. But let's get into the next one. All right,
You're on the right path, my friend, because majority of the public is not even thinking about that. So
I'm gonna move this one up the list because I see a lot of requests coming in for Link. Mario's Phillip in the live chat asking for Link. Goblin Moblin, can we look at Link? And it's Kagawa in the live chat asking, should I hold Link? So Link,
roll that
Link.
Beautiful Link footage.
All right, so Link did make a new all-time high today. Right now, it's basically retesting the previous all-time high as support on lower time frames. You can see where we are here. Okay, I guess I can't zoom in any more than that. There we go. Let's see. So we kind of push up above it. Now we're back below, and we're hanging out in this area, retesting it as support. Yes, you should still just be holding onto it. There is no sign of a reversal yet. I will be unhappy if we close below this previous high again. But even then, I still wouldn't say that it's time to get out. It's just, not a great sign. But that doesn't mean it's a reversal signal. Sometimes it's just hanging out and waiting to pump even harder.
It makes me happy that we have 80% of the position out already.
Mm-hmm. So we were just talking about it yesterday, about how we were looking for it to move up here. I would say probably we'll pull back. more on Link here.
Mm-hmm.
It seems much more likely that we'll come back down and retest this resistance as support than that we will keep pumping all the way straight up. So I would say just keep hanging on to Link for right now. You might have some a little bit more down before some more up, but there's nothing to just nothing bad to say about Link here. It looks like it's reversing off the bottom, just like we've been looking for. The USDT pairing made a new all-time high today, and right now, while it could be a little stronger, there's no weakness per se. So I say stay in it.
All right, stick it out with
staying in
Link. Link doing big things. Looks like it's back in the crypto land's good graces, right?
Yeah, I know lots of people that picked it up around $8.
Link Marines are happy.
Indeed. All right. This next one comes from T-Dubs, CROBTC.
Oh, you poor bastard. Okay.
Thinking about upping my card.
I did get that notice that the app keeps sending out that they're increasing the staking.
Nice.
Well, rough day today, but I mean very similar looking price action to Bitcoin here. I would say right now we're in the no trade zone. This is telling us don't do anything here. If we started to curl up again, then I would be looking for a bounce and continuation. This is pretty bottomy here, especially how we weren't able to make a new low in this spot. You can see sellers really pushed into it here, but they just there was more buyers. So yeah, at this point on the daily, there's nothing for us to do, but at least on the weekly and stuff right now, I wouldn't call it weak per se. It's just kind of trading sideways still.
Percy Jackson.
Yep. Percy. What's next? Yeah, I'm sorry for... you know what? Let's check the Crow Bitcoin pairing real quick. I mean, so far, this is telling us that we should just, like, be in Bitcoin. So people, basically, almost anybody who ever bought Crow is underwater.
Yeah.
Unless they had bought Bitcoin. They should have bought Bitcoin instead of any point. And that's where we are.
Butch's girlfriend. Woof.
Yeah, I mean, we got a weekly reversal signal last week. Not much follow through this week. I like that we traded sideways out of the downtrend underneath our moving average, the baseline. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing really for us to do here. We don't even have a cross up. So yeah, I would still stay out of Crow. As a matter of fact, this chart is telling us you should have always stayed out of Crow, but.
All right, that would do Crow for now. Let's see what else we have. All right, I see a question came through just now. General one, is Binance good for European traders, or is there another exchange that's better?
Yeah, Binance is fine for European traders. As a matter of fact, I don't think any of the European exchanges are particularly good. So, yeah, you're better off using Binance or some of the other I'm using air quotes, not American exchanges like FTX and Bybit. What's that?
I've never had a problem with Binance.
Yep, Binance.
There's only one problem I know is that they could be a little unresponsive if you're asking them for historical trading results. I know one of our members has had severe problems getting that out of them. And I've heard someone else say that Binance actually lost a good portion of their 2018 historical data. And so that there's they cannot produce the data for people.
That's not good.
No,
Hilarious.
It's not good. Think of how many people are trying to get their 2018 stuff for their
taxes and stuff.
Yeah. So it's a big deal.
And that's a huge letdown too, because that's your one job here.
Yeah,
right?
It's just you keep track of all the trades that happened on your platform, didn't you, buddy?
Right.
Anyway,
you know what's going on in your own house.
I don't want to dissuade you from using Binance, but that is a problem that Binance has. Bybit has incredibly good customer support. I cannot I can't recommend them enough for that. It's really nice to get a same-day response when there's a problem, like your stop loss going off when it shouldn't have gone off, or a position exiting you in a loss when it should have been in a profit, or things happen. It's an electronic exchange, but you want it fixed really quickly because it's your money on the line.
All right. Yep. And someone reminds us in the live chat, Binance gives you a lot of trouble if your VPN isn't right. Yes, you definitely want to access Binance with your VPN, but otherwise, you should find
I just connected to 3 commas, and then I never get in trouble for it. Yep. So 3 commas does it all, and I don't think they care about that IP because I still trade the regular one unless they're hearing this.
You will be fine in that regard, but in general practice, it's still a good idea to get your VPN up and running when you're dealing with Binance or really any crypto exchange or general internet surfing. All right, we've currently got 137 watching, solid numbers.
Thank you, guys.
We've got quite a few, I can tell.
136, what's going on?
People who just joined the live stream and
get on in here, let's hang out.
They've got questions that you might begrudgingly want to do, but just because we did Bitcoin earlier, I would like to throw these guys a bone if they're new and see if we can do another Bitcoin recap in relation to their questions. So you're on.
Well, price action's dumped a little bit. They're probably a little worried, so
exactly.
It might be good to look at lower time frame Bitcoin.
I'm just going to read these 3 back. These 3 users just came through here in the last couple of minutes, and they all asked Bitcoin questions, so I got all 3 up on the screen. The first one is from Euron Balika. Can you check Bitcoin, please? Any buy signals? So looking for a buy signal for Euron.
Someone's got a bag underwater.
No, there are no buy signals right now.
There are not.
Fink asks, what signal for Bitcoin are we getting? So maybe asking more in general, what kind of signal? And Crack UPSC.
I mean, I guess the signal we're getting is to start looking for shorts because we're underneath the baseline.
Gotta wait for the daily close, man. A lot of volatility here. Don't go jumping into stuff.
And the third user, Crack UPSC, a Bitcoin long entry, please. All right. I mean, it doesn't look like our traders are really going to be able to recommend you to go long anywhere here.
We need more evidence, man.
I would wait for a break of this trend line here. So we're kind of tracking this decreasingly downtrendy trend on Bitcoin right now, and we're just waiting for a break on it, and then that will be our sign along. Right now, we're testing the point of control, and we could get a bounce off this area. I mean, this is one of our support levels right here.
Nice historical support.
This one's resistance here, and now we're finding support. But until we actually break up out of here, it would really suck to enter here and be like, "Oh, I know this is support," and then it just kind of drills down.
Because if this bottom drops out,
down here.
If this bottom drops out, you will be wiped. I promise.
Yeah. So there's no long signal yet. But it's hopeful that we're holding above the support level right now.
I think the next 4-hour close will give you a little bit better idea of what we can expect, to be honest with you. If we get back up there and have a nice bullish appreciation out of this, or if we go sideways a little bit, we're in that no man's land right now. We got to just figure out where our support is.
Yeah, chill out, buddy. We'll know what to do on Bitcoin.
Sometimes the best trade is no trade, my friend. It's always important to remember that not taking a trade is also a trading decision, and it's probably one of the most important ones you can make.
Indeed, well said, especially if we're entering kind of an area of choppiness, of sideways Bitcoin action. If we're just going to range from 30 to 40 for the next couple of weeks, you probably don't want to FOMO into any positions.
30K is the new 10.
Indeed. All right, let's take a look here. Next one. Shoutouts to the new users, of course, in the live chat. We will be checking back in with Bitcoin in a bit. In the meantime, let's get into the next request on the list. And this one comes from Kevin M in the live chat. Hi, guys. Can you please take a look at REEF and the LTO network? Yes, REEF, I think, is that... we touched on this a couple times. This is the one on the Binance Launchpad, one of the first DeFi projects on the Binance Launchpad. So let's look at REEF.
I think REEF looked pretty good in this spot. Actually, yesterday was the day to buy, but today we'll also be having a good buy signal here. Let me go to lower time frames, and maybe this will make a little bit more sense. Go. So you can see, so we're trending downwards. We broke it a couple days ago, and now we're just kind of trending upwards, and our finding some support here. So support, resistance, resistance, support. Boom, right off it. So I think REEF is looking decent in this spot, but you know, it would be nice to have a little bit more data. We don't have any kind of baseline, but this is it's helpful that we have recovered over whether you're looking at the 4-hour or the daily. This we seem to have recovered over support here, and as long as we can hold it and close above it, then I imagine even if we were to pull down a little bit, we would keep making highs. And I would probably look for an eventual retest of the high right here. Although there is some resistance in this spot as well.
Resistance.
It's futile. Where'd the line? I just had a line. You guys saw me make the line, right?
Nope.
All right.
Just losing your gourd, bud.
Okay. If you can manage to snag a pullback, this is probably where you're going to find it. This spot right here. So you can see this is essentially the listing price. Bounce here, bounce here, bounce here. Fall below, find resistance, break. So this is a good place to retest for support here. And then what was it besides? LTO, that's right.
That's right, LTO.
I remembered!
I had like $100 of that randomly I found the other day, just sitting on my, I just went to my 3 commas and clicked home, and I was like, what is this? Just LTO from like forever ago. Just sitting there. Did me well.
Right now, there's nothing for us to do. We're, you know, we're below zero here on our oscillator. We're pointed downwards. We're kind of curling here.
I think that'll be an interesting close because you're definitely going to get some bullish divergence out of that if it closes that way.
Yeah.
And you're just coming onto that shelf. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Historically, good support there. That could have continuation.
Maybe it picks them up like around this area here. Mm-hmm. Maybe we wick down here and then continue onwards.
Yeah, that's an interesting chart. I'm going to keep an eye on that.
I'll make sure it's on my watch list. There's just nothing for us to do right now on LTO. If I had been in it from here, I might have been looking to exit on a cross up, like right here at near resistance. But if you're still in it right now, I'd say, you know, your odds are about even that it's going in either direction. So there's really nothing to do except, you know, just sit on your hands, especially if you're in profit.
All right.
Wait for it to show you the
shoutouts,
because usually pricing charts will show you the way. You just have to let them.
Do you know the way?
This is the way.
Respect the pump.
All right.
Must respect the pump.
Respect to Kevin M for the request. And moving into the next one, this is a general question for subtext. So if we get a sell signal on the weekly for Bitcoin USD, would you recommend taking profit 50% of a HODL amount, or keep HODLing, or take profit on the whole thing? Yeah, how would you recommend a Bitcoin hodler?
Well, basically, are you asking about hedging? Are you asking like?
Well, seems like
I would say that you use the hedging strategy with the daily baseline, and you can decide whether you want to use the regular baseline or the CME baseline. Mm-hmm. Regular baseline will get you out basically today. At the end of today, it's telling you to hedge up. CME, it just is not there. And keep in mind, we could always, you know, come back up to 41. I think you guys have seen that the regular baseline tends to be maybe, I guess the better way to put it is more sensitive because it's getting more data. It gets the weekend data, but that also means that we get chopped up a little bit more.
And that weekend data tends to be pretty volatile in either direction. So it makes sense that it would be a lot smoother on the CME.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the way I would play it. The weekly sell signal here is only a signal to hedge up or sell if you've been trading the weekly. But we haven't. We've been trading the daily. You know, this is giving us an eye of what's happening in the long term. And in the long term, this trend is exhausted. We might pull back just a little and then continue a new weekly trend. But this weekly trend right here from 10,000, that's it.
Me, when I look at that, I don't get a short signal or anything like that when I see that exit signal. To me, in my mind, when we have a trend like this, to me that is just a take profit on your long and just wait. That to me is not a short signal, not a hedge signal. But again, this depends on how you are trading.
Yeah, the hedge signal is what we're using the daily baseline. And, but there, you guys could use all sorts of things as signals to hedge up. This is just a really simple something that is useful and works and
back tested well.
Yeah, it back tested well, and it is forward tested well too.
But there is
We've
chop.
been using this for about a year and a half now, so
yep.
It works.
All right, trying to get chopped up out there, guys. This is a crucial moment in the market.
This episode of Chopped.
Moving into the next one, this is Adam Cohen in the live chat saying, also, I would love for you guys to let me know if I'm crazy, if I wanted to switch my Bitcoin to Wi-Fi for a little bit.
I'm not a big Wi-Fi guy.
There's one easy way to find that out, and it's to look at the Wi-Fi Bitcoin chart. Let's turn off our baseline here because it's screwing us up. Well, for the first few weeks, it was a great idea. But basically, ever since then, it's not been such a great idea to hold Wi-Fi instead of Bitcoin. And as a matter of fact, as you can see right here, we've been finding a lot of resistance at the 1-to-1 ratio. We could be at a bottom here, but there's just no signs of a reversal here. Even on the daily, we're crossed under right now. So I would say at this point, there is no sign that that would be a good decision on your part. If we break this weekly trend line, then that could be a sign that Wi-Fi will appreciate against Bitcoin. But for right now, like I said, there's no signs. No signs that it's a good idea.
All right, pass on the idea for flipping your Bitcoin into Wi-Fi for a bit.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
Stick with Bitcoin, bud.
Moving into the next one. I'm pretty sure we covered DOT for Wayne Arnott, .USD.
Yeah, we've done DOT.
Yes, we definitely did do DOT. Let me group that in with the DOT request with subtext. All right. All right, in that case, skipping ahead to the next one. This one comes from Super Relax, the user that just got the green channel supporter status. Shoutouts to Super Relax. They asked, can we look at the Bitcoin Cash chart, please?
He's trying to kill the Prime Minister of Malaysia. Relax.
I don't get it.
Go to it. You didn't watch Zoolander?
Oh, it's been a long time.
I never forget.
I would say that there's definitely nothing for us to do here on the daily on BCH Bitcoin, at least as you can see we're crossed under right now. Let's get our baseline back on. Yeah, so we're getting a sell signal while we're above the baseline, so we can't short, we can't long, nothing we can do here. Yeah, this is also looking kind of weak right now. We're back below zero on our oscillator. WAD is telling us not to do anything. So there's nothing to do on BCH either. So I would just stay out for now.
All right, that's BCH for you.
You don't hear too much about BCH anymore. Like, it used to be a lot of what people talked about. I just haven't heard people
Unfortunately,
talk about it.
I do still hear about BCH pretty regularly. I saw, was it Kim.com joined Roger for shilling BCH?
What does Kim.com do?
He's a personality who made a lot of money in the .com boom, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's a good way of describing him.
Pets.com mogul?
He was famously busted by international authorities in questionable jurisdiction. He's the guy behind Mega Upload and all those sites. But yes, he's probably more of a part of internet history now than like totally relevant. But alright, super relaxed. That was it for the BCH request. I still have a good 6 or more.
Mega Upload and Rapid Share just got they got acquitted in court.
Oh, well, only took a decade or
I was
more.
looking at this last month.
Got away with it.
All right. It's Kagawa in the live chat asking for Link. We covered Link a few minutes ago. It's Kagawa.
We are in Link,
I
baby.
even had your request on screen, so just go back a few minutes. If not, you're gonna have to wait for after the show, and there will be timestamps in the description below. You'll be able to pull up Link very easily, very quickly, but you might have to wait till after the show in order to figure out where in the show we did that one. All right. Getting into the next one. I see quite a few comments coming in, but I will get to those in a little bit, guys. I do have a list of queued requests, including the next one. Wayne Arnott asking for Ethereum Classic USD.
BTC. By the tone of your voice, it doesn't seem like you like Ethereum Classic very much.
I am upset with Ethereum Classic after we had, so many members try and arbitrage the difference between the Binance and the Coinbase pumps.
Mm-hmm.
And then for whatever reason, there was like 3,000 confirmations and it still wasn't coming through.
Did you dirty, huh?
It didn't do me dirty, but it did some of our members dirty. I don't like that. I really like the break of trend here on Ethereum Classic. I like what amounts to a retest of resistance turn support here in this. So we can see that right here. Closing back above that. That is good. I do like that. We have to hold it. On the daily, we don't have anything to do. We're below zero on our oscillator. WADA's not firing. So we're just getting on our hands right now. But I do like that the weekly is holding this. So this is a good sign. And if we continue to hold it, then there's a chance we can continue and make an assault on $11 to $12 on Binance, like we did on Coinbase.
Yeah.
As you can see, huge difference. Coinbase went all the way up to $15. And I think still maintaining a higher price, is it? Or is it finally arbitraged? It's still not arbitraged. Ethereum Classic there's a whole dollar difference between Ethereum Classic on Binance and Coinbase. So there must still be something wrong with the with transferring.
Just some dude doing an office space scheme where they put the decimal in the wrong spot. They're just taking too much off the top, and it's obviously noticeable.
Yeah.
What's with this dollar gap, man?
Mm-hmm.
All right, my condolences to the Coinbase Ethereum Classic bots. You need to step up your hustle. But let's get into the next one. This is a question regarding TD Sequential from Daniel in the live chat, who's also a channel supporter. TD Sequential, is it still a good indicator? He asks.
Why? Well, I mean,
it's a good indicator. It's just not what I use.
Yeah, I'm completely agree. I've seen a lot of people utilize it very well. It's
Justin utilized it to great effect. Yep. As a matter of fact, we there's a video in Trading Crypto 101 YouTube playlist where Justin explains some of the basics of I don't know if it's TD Sequential or what's the other TD one? There's TD Reversal, TD Trend. I do not remember.
Yeah, it's not something I use.
Yeah,
but that's the beautiful thing about this space, man, is there's so many great tools out there that it's almost overwhelming. Like a lot of people use all these things like, well, now that sometimes for me, less is more. The more simple it is, the better it is, honestly, for me. Like a lot of people love Ichimoku. I don't have any experience with Ichimoku, but I know a ton of people use it to great effect. It's just you can fit it to your personality type, man. That's why I think trading's such a unique thing.
Yeah, these tools are universal and preferences can be subjective. So TD Sequential probably still decent if you know how to. Sure, we have a solid TD Sequential tutorial in our YouTube channel, so check that out. But let's move into the next one. All right, we covered all these questions. Let's move into the one after this. This one comes from Texican Olive. Let's look at LRC USD.
All right, loop ring.
I wanted to take loop ring 2 days ago, but it just barely closed under the baseline, so I couldn't take it.
There was a long signal yesterday here. This is at least a continuation long signal here. But we're also, if we had just crossed above the baseline, this also would have qualified as an initial long signal.
Mhm.
I just, it feels
like it's petering.
Yeah, it feels a little petered out.
What you doing over there, loop ring? Petering?
Yeah.
Petering out?
Yeah. So we see the local point of control here in this spot. Kind of come up, tag it, and now we're just hanging out at this resistance here. And now you can actually see the point of control now that we've zoomed in a little bit more.
Man, looking at that, you'd think that you're gonna at least test that left shoulder.
Here?
Lower. Right there.
Oh,
yeah.
Here.
That range. Yeah.
So he's saying something like
a test of the baseline.
We come down. Yeah.
Likely a lower time frames.
Yeah. Perhaps. There's just really nothing for us to do here on loop ring. I'm not super interested in this continuation long signal, especially after we've pulled back more today.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been underwater in it had I taken it, so I'm glad I decided to weed that one out.
Yeah, let's look at the Bitcoin pairing. Maybe the Bitcoin pairing will kind of illuminate the situation.
Well, that's what I was looking at because I was trading Bitcoin pairs. Sorry. Yeah, very similar. I would have been underwater.
Nothing for us to do here. There was a potential continuation long signal we could have taken here, but
that was it.
We got slapped in the face. So I think just sitting on your hands for right now is the best thing to do with loop ring.
But what do I do when they get numb?
All right, hang back on the loop ring. Let's get through the next few. I've only got a few left now, so if your request wasn't covered yet, it will be in the next few. Standing by. This one comes from Mr. Ether. Can we look at BNB USDT? Make me rich, please.
Okay. All right, let me make you rich. Short BNB. No, I'm joking. Let's look in here. Damn it. Stupid tool. All right.
Gosh dang.
Yeah. For right now, this is telling us that we're looking for shorts on BNB USDT. We're underneath the daily baseline, as you can see. We're kind of trapped. And can I zoom in any more on this? Jeez. I'm just going to call this too close to say. It looks like we're a little crossed under, but there's not a lot of momentum here, so whatever. I would just say for now, BNB is telling us to stay out until we get a little bit more bullish confirmation.
How is exchange coins doing? Exchange coins perp.
I will say that BNB Bitcoin is looking very nice in this spot right now, especially if we close above this resistance that you see right here. Crossing above the daily baseline. This is good. A lot of potential here on the BNB pairing. This is actually looking like a lot of alt pairings right now, coming up off of some bottoms that they have found in the last week. Let me run through some low sat coins here, and I'll show you what I mean.
Really starts to get your alt season juices flowing, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's Orn here doing something similar. Very green day today after attempting to make a new bottom. Well, AVAX, we already know. AVAX is killing it. Wing, very similar today. We've been trading sideways all week, and then finally today we're putting in a big green day.
All these are very reminiscent of EOS.
Yeah, exactly. EOS typified that behavior where we're just making a new low, and then whoa, what's going on? Well, if you got too bearish, you just shorted the bottom, buddy, because we just came up off these bottoms. CTSI, not pumping super hard, but it's doing the sideways thing that we're talking about. BitShares pumped today after putting in a new bottom yesterday. Ardor trading sideways, didn't put in a new bottom. AppCoin really looking good, strong here, actually. But this found a new bottom last week, and then it tried earlier this week, and we've just been putting in bullish days. So,
and it's interesting because I mean that chart right there. What is this one? APPC. Okay, yeah. There's very little weakness in that at all.
Yeah, this is like suddenly buyers are really stepping in this spot. But you know, we have to be careful because buyers can step in for a while. Like, look here, buyers step in. We get
go
like
away.
a small, and then
they can go away just as fast as they came in.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm not sketching all in here, but you got to admit this is looking really interesting coming up off of this bottom in the spot. Sis, not looking super bullish, but
we already were in and out of it, baby.
Yeah.
See, and this is one of the. This is sorry to interrupt you real quick. It brings up a good point of some questions that I get from people that, and it's usually newer people because they're like, hey, like, do you regret taking profit there? Like, because what I usually run on alts is a 50-30-20 system. And people always say, like, once, like, people aren't happy with hitting TP1 for some reason. But they always, if it continues, like, well, don't you feel bad that you missed out on all of this gain and stuff like that? I'm like, no, every single time that I do that, I lock it in, put it into a no loss situation because, like we took that a couple of days ago. We hit TP1, got wicked out, and then we're out of the trade, a nice like 8%. But if we weren't taking those profits, we would just be either sideways or negative right now. Like, you have to keep taking those profits. Like, this isn't there. You got to get the difference between investing and trading out of your head. Always take profits when you're trading. Investing is a different thing.
Or you need to get it into your head. You gotta, yeah.
Well, yeah. Either way, you want to grind it in there.
Yeah. Sis here, starting to put in a rounded bottom. It's interesting, but it's not giving us any sort of signal yet.
Reminds me of Link before it popped off.
It is a little reminiscent of that. Loom here, I'm not seeing anything for us to do. It's a little bit trading sideways, but it's just volatile at this level. LRC we looked at. Blaze doing the thing we were talking about, sideways trading, pumped up today. Very reminiscent of the EOS bottom. Raven.
It's about time, Raven.
Oh my good. Will Raven find a bottom here? Find out.
Send a Raven next week on Dumpster Fire.
Yeah. Yeah, Raven coin is definitely something I would approach with extreme caution, guys.
I've heard it in stories.
Yep. Mana kind of going sideways, not a huge pump today. BCPT, it's doing the thing.
Oh, I remember.
AMB is doing the thing. This looks really nice here, actually. This is very bottomy, isn't it? Damn it.
3 of them.
Okay. There we go. Let's go into a lower time frame. Let's look at this.
Ambrosus.
I really like Ambrosius here. It makes me feel funny things.
It's definitely found a bottom. Look at that.
Yeah. I guess I would like a slightly stronger daily close right now. It's just above the point of control. We don't have a we do have a continuation long signal I guess I could take, but
I guess I could.
It's just so volatile at this level. It
Sushi going for it right now.
Is it?
Yeah, it just broke $7, I think.
Now let's just keep our eye on Ambrosius. Ambrosius could be really good here, but I don't want to. I really don't want to enter anything too soon. But as you can see, it trends really strongly, and if we can catch it right after a break of trend, then I think we can. It'll trend strongly down and then pump. Mm-hmm. So I would love to catch one of those up pumps. Right? This is a. Gosh, if we just retested the resistance up here, this is like a 3x.
Yeah, honestly, like I wouldn't even feel terrible saying to someone, if you just bought into that spot and wait a month, I don't think you'd regret it.
It's most likely true. What else do we got?
All right. I do have a few more requests lined up if you want to dive into them.
Let's do that.
Okay, let's.
I guess I made my points. That's the kind of price action that we're looking at in several of these alts, and I think that's the most bullish price action that we're seeing in the Bitcoin pairings. That bottoming behavior. It's kind of like almost bubbling there.
It leads me to believe that this weekend we're going to range sideways within this trend that Bitcoin's already established, and we might just see some rocket fuel get dumped into these alts because they're definitely poisoning themselves to the upside right now.
Yeah.
All right, we've got Bitcoin Broke and Subtext in the live chat, both requesting Maker. So let's take a look at Maker.
Okay, let's look at Maker.
Go ahead, Maker, my day.
Maker Bitcoin is telling us to exit in this spot, probably in preparation for a pullback of some sort. Yeah.
Yep.
Maker USDT telling us the same thing. We where's our trend? This is our trend. Okay. Let's go to lower time frames. You guys can see you can pick up what I'm putting down.
Well, I
Yep,
see
12 hour is showing us heavy resistance here in this spot. We're breaking below the 12-hour baseline. Daily baseline pointed down. No momentum, or momentum dying down. I would say it's just time to be out of Maker. At least if you're trading the daily.
So what you're saying is it's make or break time?
Yes, exactly.
God, I'm getting good at this.
All right, that's Maker for you guys. And Subtext also requested Comp USD in this request. Let's take a look at Compound.
Get a little bit of that DeFi flavor. Looking strong.
Yeah, but we're at resistance right now.
Good price absorption, though.
Oof, right off the weekly resistance right here. I think at this moment, Comp is telling us that there's nothing to do. I know we're above the daily baseline. Let's pull it out. Yep, here's our daily baseline, but we're curled down. We're getting a take profit signal at the end of today. Our momentum is kind of dying out. So yeah, I would say Comp is looking for potentially a short-term pullback, maybe to like 150 or so. I like this area for a retest. But for right now on the daily, nothing for us to do.
All right, skip the Comp for now. Let's move into the next request. All right, this is for Roses ML in the live chat. Thoughts on SBE? Now, SBE, I think, is Switchback Energy, which is a traditional stock. So I don't think it's this SBE coin. Something called Zombie coin, but I don't think that's it. I think they're asking for Switchback Energy. Let's go take a look at
Switchback Energy is a short, buddy. This is a solid short too. So yeah, we're crossing under here on our oscillator. We're below our daily baseline. It's looking like a very nice baseline bounce short, and our watt is firing. We've got the volatility, we've got the momentum. As you can see, we're above the dead zone here. So all systems go to short Switchback Energy in this spot. On higher time frames on the weekly, I guess let me get rid of the baseline because it's not very helpful. Here we go. On the weekly, we're curled down. We got an exit signal. Last week. At the beginning of last week, we got an exit signal when we closed down here. And then this week just kind of feels like we retested the highs right here. I fully expect us to pull back to maybe $26, perhaps even. I see some support here. You can see right here at $20, but there's some liquidity at 26 and 24. So those are potential support levels as well. For now, I'm not interested in Switchback unless I was establishing some kind of short for the daily. Those are my thoughts.
All right, excellent insight into the SBE chart. Let's move into the next request. This is a more general question coming from Cole in the live chat. For tax purposes, do you prefer a software log like Cointracking, or do you just keep a personal record?
Cointracking is great because it can also keep tabs on your what is it called?
Your kids.
No. Look, I would just advise you to use something like Cointracking because most people are not very good at keeping tabs of their trades.
Not unlike the people here who track every single one of them, baby.
Yeah, but even though we've tracked them all, it's really hard to organize them from that into like
I agree.
a proper something that you submit to the IRS. Cointracking prints up the form for you, and it has all the numbers listed and the prices and buys and stuff like that. I found cointracking.info to be very helpful. I've helped. I've used it for taxes. I've had someone else do their taxes with it. This year, I think my taxes are going to be too complicated to use it. I'm probably going to have to use a tax attorney, but
yeah, I just pay an accountant.
All right. Hopefully that covers the tax question for Cole. Let's keep rolling because we only got 30 minutes.
If you have other tax questions, we are not the people to ask, but be sure to like and subscribe anyway.
Indeed.
Yeah. Hey, we got some pretty smart accountants in the group, so.
Yep. Join the Discord. Maybe we'll find more answers to your tax questions. But
I am not your guy.
moving along, a new
I
user.
don't like the government.
New user in the live chat by the name of 20. They ask, hey, do you guys think we will go down to below 27,000?
Maybe. Remains to be seen.
Yep, can't predict the future for sure, but...
Sorry, buddy. Probably, eventually, maybe.
Might hit 100k first and then see a nice 75% retraction and... might get that 27k you've been waiting for. But let's get into the next one. This is from Wayne Arnott. Can you check out gold, please?
Sure. We are in a gold short. I do not know whether or not that's a good thing. Let's look. It's a good thing! Hey! So we entered the gold short here. As you can see, we crossed below the daily baseline here, but we did not have WADA confirmation or oscillator confirmation. We finally got below zero on our oscillator here, is where we took the short. And thank goodness, because as you can see, we were just basically been in profit the entire time. Did we hit take profit one? Let's see. $18.22. We had a low of $18.23. Not yet, but we'll probably hit it soon. I think gold is going to remain a short. As you can see, we got a big weekly fuck you candle last week, which leads me to believe that we're in for some more downside. Probably to 1700, 1750. You know, kind of this area. Can't say for sure, but if we did, we would be able to maintain this trend if we're bouncing right around here. So we'll see what happens with gold, but ultimately, I'm not interested in being long, especially if the dollar is rising, because gold suffers from the same thing that Bitcoin does. When the dollar is rising, money is leaving gold and entering the dollar, and when the dollar is rising, money is leaving Bitcoin and entering the dollar. So we should expect somewhat similar movements here on gold. And also one of the reasons why gold and Bitcoin are correlated in some ways, due to their inverse correlation to the dollar.
All right, stand by for a bit of a pullback in gold. Hopefully that covers the question for Wayne Arnott. Let's get into the last few because, well, there's only a couple requests left. Here we go. We did these two. This one's for Viviana Gonzalez in the live chat. Should I sell my Bitcoin before going under?
Always take profits if you're worried. If you're not sure, take profits. Move your stop loss to break even. Who cares? You're going to hate riding that.
I will assume you mean go under some sort of support or some sort of baseline or something. It sounds like you're not even sure what Bitcoin would have to go under for you to want to be out. Yeah, Bitcoin is bearish in this spot. I don't know what price is good to be out. I don't know if maybe Bitcoin will recover and it'll be bullish again. You'll have to re-enter. But if you're asking me, looking at it today, is it time to hedge up? Yeah, it's time to hedge up. I mean, we're underneath the daily baseline. Them's the rules, right?
Indeed.
So yeah, other than that, I don't have anything to tell you. I'm not here to trade your account for you. But the signs are that the markets are bearish in the coming weeks, not just Bitcoin, but the traditional markets as well. So if you can handle selling here and then Bitcoin happens to pump to 40K again before it breaks down, and you won't be like weeping and gnashing your teeth, then yeah, sell here. Otherwise, sit on your hands and wait for more confirmation. We don't even have the weekly close yet.
Don't let FOMO run your life.
Yep, good advice, especially with us potentially taking a bearish turn in the market.
Yeah, I figured that they were just talking about going under by going under their entry and going negative. So that's why I just said if you are unsure of your position.
I don't think so. It felt even more vague than that. Like it goes under the baseline, it goes under what things. It could be support. I mean, we've got strong support here at 34. I mean, I will say if we were under 34, yeah, get out. Like this is
agreed. That would be a break of all of this pattern that we're in right now.
Yeah, you should totally get out. But I mean, disregard that. Maybe we get things like descending triangle in the front.
You just have to be ready for volatile swings because it's going to happen.
Ding, ding, ding. Could happen. Who knows?
Indeed. Be prepared for that. We can even make
a descending triangle and then break up. I just I try and not predict too far into the future when doing this. Because
it doesn't do you any good.
You're just wrong normally. There's the problem is you can get the direction right, but if you get the day wrong, then it's shot.
It's all about timing.
Yeah,
your premise could be perfect. Yeah, and that's one thing that I think that's kind of funny. Every once in a while, me and Alex will directly counter trade each other because we're just looking at what we're seeing, and then we put out the signals, and then both of them become true. Like it's just about timing.
Yeah, you can be short on a lower time frame, long on a higher time frame.
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
No FOMO.
Alright, that should cover it for that request, and let's move into the next one. I have only a few left, which is good. This one comes from Forex Meister on Twitch. He says, could you explain what you mean by chop zone, Alex?
I don't think I've ever said the term chop zone in my life.
The chop zone, baby.
Yeah, I've never
Welcome
said
to the chop zone.
So I don't mean anything by chop zone. I did say no trade zone and chop, same sentence. Perhaps maybe I was breaking up or something like that. This is an area where you're in a no trade zone and we're getting chopped up while we're in the no trade zone. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Guys, watch out for the chop zone.
Watch out for the chop. Probably
I think I understand the context of what they're talking about, and I can kind of shed a little bit of light on that, especially considering I used the 13 EMA. Basically, what he means by getting chopped up is, especially when you're dealing with an entry system that is like the 60 hole for hedging. As soon as you go under it, you need to hedge. But then the chop would be that it keeps going above closing, below closing, so you're getting chopped up in your signal there.
Yeah.
And with the 13 EMA, I find that you get chopped up a lot more in the midterm, but it also is very good for getting into the initial trend.
Yeah, the more sensitive your indicator, the choppier it is. The less sensitive your indicator, probably the more powerful the signals are, but the later that you get them.
Welcome to the chop zone, baby.
Alright, trying to avoid getting chopped out there, Meister, but let's get into the last few. Only a couple left, and we got about 20 minutes left in the show. Perfect. Gives me the opportunity to cross these last few requests off my list. And then I'm going to quickly get back into the live chat, see what late comments are trickling in. This one comes from Jane Doe in the live chat. XMR Monero, please.
Jason, you've been on top of Monero. Why don't you take over XMR? Can you switch the scene to Jason?
Have I been?
Haven't you been?
Let me see.
Okay, well, I mean, I'll just do it instead, but I thought you'd been on top of it recently, so.
Actually, XMR is the only position that we are a little underwater on right now. 6.9% underwater from entry.
Well, XMR is telling us
I'm going to hold on to it, guys.
Yeah, we're supposed to be out, and we're in the no trade zone, and we don't have any momentum. So overall, XMR, it just doesn't look great in this position.
I'm in the BTC pairing.
Mm-hmm. BTC pairing is just kind of trading sideways. We're not about to cross under. We're just, yeah, there's just nothing really for us to do in this spot.
Yeah, it's giving me no signals to exit quite yet, but we'll see at the end of the day.
All right, keep our eyes on Monero, but at the moment, looking a little droopy. Condolences to the trade, guys, but it's not over yet. This one comes from Rajesh Chakur in the live chat. Litecoin, please. We haven't looked at Litecoin yet today. Let's take a quick look.
I don't believe so.
Litecoin, Bitcoin still holding our trend line, barely. Still hanging out at the lows and holding them, barely, but holding them. And then as far as the USDT pairing, not super interesting. We're getting that sell signal we're getting on Bitcoin too, except it's even stronger. Daily baseline, we're below it. Arguably, we have a short signal right now. I would say nothing to do on Litecoin except maybe short it at this point.
That looks weak.
What's next?
All right, short that Litecoin. Moving into the last few. This is Stellar from Dean Kalman in the live chat. Let's look at Stellar XLM.
Definitely nothing to do here. We're cross under on the daily, way above the baseline, hanging out at resistance. I would say overall, I probably expect a pullback here on XLM Bitcoin. As far as the USDT pairing, similarly, we're crossed under. Nothing for us to do here. No momentum, no volatility. Most likely going to get another pullback here. Maybe not as big as this one. I see some volume hanging around like 25 cents or so. That's probably your best bet. But for now, I would just stay out. Here we are, crawling below the 12-hour baseline. Relatively bearish on lower time frames. What's next?
All right, relatively bearish on the Stellar. Okay, gonna get through the last couple of requests, and then I'm gonna explore all the comments coming in to the live chat right now. This one comes from Austin James in the live chat. Cosmos, aka Adam. Let's take a quick look.
I saw Cosmos was just shooting for the stars last night.
Look at that Bitcoin pairing. Well, we finally broke that trend. We finally broke that trend.
I'm also making 5% APY on that HODL bag.
Very strong weekly buy signal. I think overall that is probably the death knell for the downtrend here.
Yeah.
We could still trade down a little bit and trade sideways in this area. This is a very strong pump. But I definitely don't see Adam making any new lows. Super strong here. I think I was saying how Adam had a good chance to retest the highs here. Yeah, I would say that there's probably nothing to do with Adam if you're not already in it. If you're in it, I would take profit in this area and just hold on. And if you're not, I definitely wouldn't buy the resistance that we are facing in the spot. So, nothing to do.
You missed it.
Yep, you missed it. What's next?
All right, that covers Adam. I'm gonna open up the next request here. This is agency requesting waves, and this will be one of our last one, guys.
Well, we've got a waves long for the group. I don't think it's doing that well right now. It's just kind of sideways.
It's probably right up now, a little bit below entry.
Obviously, I like the break of trend here. I think there's just nothing to do. I don't even regret the long because I mean we're still crossed up. It's just not doing anything right now. It's just sideways. There's literally nothing to do. I don't think I don't necessarily rue the long, but I probably shouldn't have used the 3-bar rule to sneak in the volatility here. So yeah, there's just sit on your hands for right now. Nothing to do with waves. I'll look at the Bitcoin pairing real quick.
It just tickled your fancy in that moment, didn't it?
Well, I mean, as you can see from the Bitcoin pairing is kind of strong.
Mhm.
I think it could make sense, but
that looks
we
a lot
don't.
like EOS.
Yeah,
COCOS.
we never. I guess there was a long signal we could have taken here, but it's just we really need the baseline to reset or get some sign of continuation signal here on waves. I think we're in for some more sideways potentially.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that should wrap up the thoughts on waves. Thank you to Agency for the request.
But I do think you could buy here, and if you had some patience, it would serve you well because we did finally break this multi-week downtrend. And that's a great sign.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 15 minutes left in the show. Going to get to the last couple questions in the live chat.
See if we can get to 100 likes, guys. We're already at 73. It's awesome.
doing good today. GM in the live chat asking for Ethereum. I think I missed Ethereum. They say, yeah, you did miss Ethereum, but you are in luck. We are going to have timestamps right after the show. So if you just refresh the video as soon as we wrap the show up, you'll be able to find timestamps and figure out exactly where in the show we dived into Ethereum. I think it was like halfway into it. It was, I think, maybe in the beginning, in the first half, maybe, but we'll definitely reference the timestamps when we wrap and go from there. Let's see here. What else do I have? Crypto Crackhead explains that chop is a nautical term, i.e. the water is really choppy today as in up and down and trading sideways. Yes, I could very well see it being a nautical term, or at least coming from that field.
Not on my boat.
Cody McAllister in the live chat asks, how much do you guys pay per month for your crypto tools?
I mean, I guess if you averaged it all together, I'm probably paying like $50 a month.
Yeah, I was gonna guess 50.
Trading View and 3 commas.
VPN.
VPN, that's a good one. Oh, my password manager, of course. Yeah, I guess I should probably know that.
I think $50 is a good guesstimate. I would guess.
Yeah, probably around $50 a month.
Yeah, that stuff's all auto deposit or auto taken, so I don't even really take. I should know that, but
yeah, Trading View account, the VPN. What else do I really pay for? Yeah, I maybe pay for 3 commas, maybe some other auxiliary data services, but yeah, I think that's about the extent of my expenses. I do know that, for instance, Justin loved having glass nodes and quite a few. Sentiment, Sentiment being another one, but generally you can get by with just your TradingView Pro and the VPN in this space. All right, let me review another comment here. B-Flow asking for FET, F-E-T. So maybe we can
look at FET forever. Let's look at it.
Let's look at FET, shall we?
I think FET was a signal for me yesterday, but it was too extended. Yep.
It looks beautiful here. Yesterday was a signal. Well, actually, we weren't quite there on volatility yesterday.
And look, I mean, that should be a no trade considering how far it is from the baseline.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was just too overextended.
Yeah, that's why I didn't take it, but it worked out.
FET looks really good here. It's a little reminiscent of like Band or Link a little bit. Oh my goodness. See what I mean? So let's Let's look at that again. Let's look at the Bitcoin pairing, actually. Bitcoin pairing, beautiful. So, as you can see, it did the thing where we were trading sideways, and today pumped really hard. Although it was a couple days ago where it tried to make that new low. This is good. This is a reversal sign. I think if we look on the weekly, we'll have a buy signal. Yep. I say buy it.
He's
looks really
fed
good.
up.
Yeah, we've recovered over support here. Looks really good in this spot. Unfortunately, there's no PTP signal that we can take at this time on FET. We'll need to try and find some kind of continuation long signal. Maybe we'll get a pullback when we face resistance up here. Some consolidation resistance here. We'll see, but overall, I think FET looks really good, and if you're in it, I would just stay in it.
Ride that gravy train.
All right, that would be FET for B-Flow. We got 10 minutes left in the show, so I'm going to squeeze in a couple of these requests from new users in the live chat. Today's been a busy day. A lot of new names, new faces coming through the live chat, so I wouldn't mind entertaining a few of these. This one comes from Mini Twig. Microsoft guys, can you take a look at them for me, please? Yes, let's look at the Microsoft stock, see what it's up to.
Ooh, they've got wrapped Microsoft tokens. Interesting.
That looks toppy to
Alex
me.
of the past seems to think this is pretty toppy. Here we are several weeks later. As you can see, we retested the high one more time underneath the weekly baseline.
Microsoft's a short.
Microsoft is a short here. Where's our trend? Maybe.
I think you need to look at the larger trend.
That was the weekly, so.
Yeah, I know, but where it came down, like the parabolic one, I think you're breaking it now, going sideways out of it. So, yeah, you start from all the way, it's hard to explain.
Here.
Left, down. Right there, start from, that trend. Go all the way up. I think you broke the bigger trend. No, I would go up above. That dip below was just a fake out. Right. Keep going. I just think that we're going sideways out of the trend right now.
Okay, well, I just don't see the trend that you're pointing to, but I see your point that it is clear that we're starting to break some trends here. So, Microsoft looks like crap here. I would probably buy some puts. As you can see on the monthly, we're just kind of trading sideways. We're under zero here. I wouldn't consider this to be super strong on the monthly. All we've done is trade sideways for all year while everything was pumping. Well, no. In the beginning of the year, we pumped with everything. There's March to August, and then we've just traded sideways since then.
From a technical aspect, this looks very weak. That does not mean it will complete to the downside, but everything is pointing to shorting here.
Yeah, I would definitely not long this spot, at the very least. What's next?
All right, we're going to slowly move to wrapping up the show. Going to try and entertain the last few people that just came through the door. For instance, Normal Bits says, "Hey guys, just got here. I'm new to the show. Did you take a look at Doggy at DOGE?"
We did not look at DOGE. Trying to get rich quick, huh?
Or get poor quick. So right now there's nothing to do. We're in the no trade zone. Probably going to break underneath it. Below zero on our oscillator. Nothing firing here. Yeah, Doge looks like Doge crap. We're underneath resistance right here in this spot. I don't like it.
Nope, sir, I didn't like it. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Bitcoin pairing is looking decent here.
How pissed off are we all gonna be in 10
If it
years
takes off again.
when Doge is like the top coin?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that coin that it only had a supply of one, and they were trying to make it the most expensive crypto ever? And basically, it was just they would buy it. Got up to like 22 grand really quick, but there's no real point of owning it.
Well,
I'll have to look into it. It was like a novelty thing that people were doing just to run the price up.
anyway, there's just nothing to do on Doge, man. The USDT pair looks bad, and the Bitcoin pairing is underneath the baseline, so nothing to do.
Alright, skip the Doge for now. And where are we at? We got 5 minutes left in the show, and unfortunately I don't think we can get to these last few. I'm going to name them off.
I think we did a lot.
We did do a lot today, guys. Even for a casual Friday, we really did kill it today. But I'm going to name a couple that I did see come across the line right at the end. And Alex, if you feel like looking at any of these, let me know. We have COCOS being requested. I see a few people asking for COCOS. I see 1 inch being requested. I see Avalanche on the list here.
COCOS.
Well, I don't know what to say about COCOS, man, but you're too late.
Going crazy.
Yeah,
Coco for
it's
cuckoo
just too late. So I'll look at the Bitcoin pairing.
Yep. You missed it, friends.
Yeah, you just missed it, man. Yeah, I don't think anybody could have really seen this coming on COCOS. Yeah, nothing to do, man. If you're holding, I would just say keep holding, and if you're not, like, you missed it. So, what are the other ones?
1 inch.
1 inch synthetics.
Avalanche.
Whoa.
1 inch AAVE and S and X. Whip out my big 1 inch.
Nothing really to do on 1 inch. Just kind of trading sideways. Sell signal on SNX. Time to get out.
Synthetic.
Nothing really to do here on the weekly. We don't have a sell signal there yet. But I would be a little leery of this.
Oh, baby. I called that perfectly on stream yesterday.
Yeah?
I said we would come back down to test the bottom of that channel.
Uh-huh. Well, we will see what happens next. But for right now, there's definitely no buy signal. There's only a sell signal. So, nothing to do.
AAVE.
Yep.
Should we look at AAVE?
I don't think we did, but let's take a quick look at AAVE, and then we'll move to wrap.
Nothing to do on it. The entry signal was days ago. If you were going to take it, and yeah, I would just keep holding it on lower time frame, starting to get sell signals. But it's up to you whether or not you're taking lower time frame signals on AAVE. You're probably not if you're still in it.
All right, that better covers it. And all right, I did see people asking for sushi, but we did do sushi in the live chat, guys. So if you want to look at sushi, we're gonna check the timestamps after the show and be able to easily pull that back and take another look at sushi. But that's it for sushi. Mr. Kobayashi is back in the live chat. The return of the 85% correction. Yeah, I do think we'll get an 85% correction. I just don't think it's going to be from here at 40K. Might need that blast off to 100 plus before we get that. Daniel in the live chat, dumb question, but why is there a big difference in the BTC and USD charts? Oh, well, that certainly is a kind of simple question, but yes, obviously, Well, there. I guess how would I explain this? You know, Bitcoin obviously trades against USD, and the pair. And then so Bitcoin is subject to its own price fluctuations, and because there is this triangular arbitrage between the alt to the Bitcoin and Bitcoin to the USD, and then the alt to the USD, there are going to be major differences between these alts, Bitcoin pairings, and their USD pairings. Generally, the major trend you might have noticed is that most of these coins are depreciating against the Bitcoin, but they're either going sideways or moving up against the dollar. But I guess it is a matter of triangular arbitrage. And finally, Barbour in the live chat says, thank you guys, really appreciate it. John Dango says he got into SNX and AAVE 2 weeks ago, so major gains. Let's see here. Glory Games, you guys are trash. Learn how to trade naked charts. What a clusterfuck.
That's very funny. Spoken like a true professional, man.
Indeed.
We out here.
Yeah, well,
it's only good money if it's a naked chart, bro.
I can assure you that these charts are actually relatively simple and easy to read.
Let's see your trading journal.
Yeah, compared to some other YouTube crypto traders that I've seen, Alex's charts are actually still decently neat, but I get that. Thank you for the comment, Glory Games. We're not easily...
Yeah, I mean, just don't let the door hit your ass on the way out, I guess.
Yeah, right. Pretty much. Trust me, Glory
Sorry
Games.
You don't like it.
We are not easily shook in this part of the woods.
That was the little push that I needed to make myself really feel like trash. So, thanks.
All right. Okay, so shouted everyone out. We haven't been able to maybe do every last request, but we sure as hell did most of them. And that's it. This has been another awesome week over here in the Breaking Bitcoin offices. Lots of fresh viewers, bunch of new subscriptions. So it's been a real pleasure running the show for another week around here. How about you guys? How do you feel looking back at this week of trading?
To be honest with you, like, I try not to think about it because I get a little into the... I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. And we've been doing really well, man. I mean, the last 3 months we've been killing it, and I don't really like to go back over it and like toot my own horn and stuff like that. But the people who are getting the signals know it, and that's the important part.
How about you, Alex? How you feeling? Feeling more bearish or more bullish? At the end of the week than you were at the beginning of the week?
Well, I mean, you guys remember I was super bearish at the beginning of the week, so I guess I'm less bearish now, but I think the traditional markets support my bearish position even more than it did last week. And the dollar especially. You know, when we were heading into the weekend, it was like, okay, I guess the dollar's reversing based on 2 days of data, Alex. But here we are a week later, and it looks like it's really turning around, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, time will tell. But if the dollar keeps going up, I would get to the dollar.
Get to the dollar. Get out of here.
Subtext comes to the rescue. Glory's just mad because he's losing money. He doesn't know how to properly trade. Yes, they come through here just to hate, but no big deal. Glory Games, why are you being rude? Asks Barbour. You know what, guys? I got thick skin, so I even tolerate. Hell, I even read these comments on the air.
Yeah,
it doesn't really bother me.
I approved it.
Yep.
I didn't have to let it through. Like, you can. Everyone's opinion's important, to be honest with you, but just some people's don't matter.
Subtext says probably a moon boy who lost all his money on XRP and panic sold. Indeed, but Barbour says nope, still holding this XRP bag. Yep, shout out to the XRP steel hands in the audience. Wait, Arnott says he's joining the CC Premium next month for the signals. Beautiful, Wayne Arnott. It's going to be nice to have you aboard.
You might learn something too
on the premium front. Subtext.
If you're not careful, you just might learn something.
You might.
Naked charts, baby. That's the way we trade around here. No volume indicator, no nothing. Just raw candlestick patterns.
Pure emotion.
I
just look at tick data. You look at candles, weakling.
Idiot.
I let my brain run the overlays of the charts and the indicators. Simply better. What do you guys think about this weekend? Ask Simply Better. Yeah, what kind of expectations we have going into the weekend before we wrap?
I am trying.
Sideways?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be sideways as well. I think we stay within this pattern. I think with the way alts are shaping up right now, I think it would make a lot of sense if we just go sideways in Bitcoin and we just see a bunch of alts start to pop off. In the short term, it's a tough one right now, guys. Like, we are comfortably in our positions. We're in a bunch of no loss positions. Even with the pullback that we got on Bitcoin today, we're still above our entry from the 4-hour signal we took. So we can let the weekend just kind of be what it is, you know? Don't go jumping into positions. Let this thing do what it's going to do. I mean, patience is a virtue.
Well said.
Yep, maybe don't chase the negative sentiment. It certainly seems to be mounting, especially if we reject it from 40K. I'm sure a lot of people will be convinced this is it. We're not going to climb any higher. Might be a perfect opportunity for the whales to come in and pump the market and shake everybody out of their short positions. But I guess that's all remains to be
Weak
seen.
hands, my friends.
Barbor84 said, you guys did an awesome job. Keep it up. Yeah, it's always nice to hear that. He mentions the subtext that this guy, this hater, probably trades naked too with his naked charts.
Hey, to each their own.
Beeflo says, yeah, doesn't everybody? Yeah, no.
That's the beauty of being a trader, man. You can wear whatever you don't want to.
Gotta keep your keep your lucky tie on, guys. You need every lucky
moving average on your chart, sicko.
You idiot! God.
Psychopath.
What are you, a masochist?
All right.
All right.
Guys.
It's Friday. Feeling good about it, but we still need 14 more likes, guys. Let's get to 100 on.
Yeah, don't
Friday
forget to drop the
afternoon.
like if you're watching the replay later tonight. Be sure to hit that like button, and if you like the timestamps, hit the like as much as you can. Timestamps do make
a couple
nice
extra accounts.
Yeah, the new timestamps really do help with the replays of the show. Really makes it easy for you guys to kind of quickly fast
Killing
forward.
it, Crypto Bull.
Yep, good job, Crypto Bull. Really nice job. ETH1 in the live chat says, red weekend, more profit, baby. All right, ETH1 positioned to take the prices down to the short side. Good luck in your short, ETH1. Good luck to everybody else. Hope they have a great weekend. We'll see you in the Discord over the course of the weekend. We will be here.
You doing anything over the weekend in the Discord, Jack?
Not
any
yet.
fights or
You know, I
anything?
think there might be UFC this weekend, so yeah, I'll probably have some UFC being streamed into the premium. So if you guys are in the premium voice this weekend, check me out. Probably be watching UFC on Saturday night with some of the regulars. But that's about it for now. It's been a nice, relaxed, comfortable Friday. It was awesome to spend it with the viewers in the live audience, but it's time to move toward the exits. Everybody had a great and wonderful weekend. Much love to you all. We'll be back come Monday.
Yep. Trade safely, guys. Have a great weekend.
Goodbye.
Much love.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.
We got to 92.